What's up, YouTube? This is Ness again. This time I'm actually going to bring you guys a 50 card build of an old format, another old format I should say, 'cause it just did Goat Control. I'm a little sick, no judge. This is actually going to be Tele-Dad. I know you guys are probably wondering why that's in there. That's just a weird tech choice, but anyway, let's go ahead and get the build started. So, again, I run one Dark Lord 02. It's just a fun, weird tech choice. Plus, it's kind of like a third Dad, because Dad was at 2 for this format. But I find that I can get him out pretty easily in this deck. Next, you run 2 Dark Arm Dragons. I was gonna say he was the main win condition of this deck, along with a lot of the sinker bullshit that you could pull. But I think when this deck was like live, whenever it was, I think it was like 2008 or 2009. I think these were like $350 a pop. Obviously, these aren't the secret rares. I only have one of them. It's actually in a return build that I have over there. But yeah, I was gonna say Dark Arm Dragon was one of my favorite cards back in the day, and I did not own one. So I was gonna say that's why I have 2 different decks around him. That's why I actually have him in a lot of different decks too. Next up, I run. These were all like side deck options. Actually, the second 2 were, but the first one was a main deck. I run one Caius, one Ryza, and one Mobius. I was gonna say they were all. I was gonna say if you had like a Malicious on the field, you could sack the Malicious and summon them, get their effect off, remove the Malicious, summon it, then do 2 teleports if you had them accessible, and you could pull out 2 level 8s like 2 Stardust, 2 Red Dragon, 2 Colossal Fighter, whatever you wanted to do. I was just say they were really good in this format. I think they're still awesome. As I say, they have all the new support out now. As I say, Monarch decks are always awesome. Monarchs are just awesome in general. Stratos, he was the main searcher for the deck. As I say, he got your Destiny Arrow engine rolling. He was pretty awesome. As I say, it's a lot of people were mad because he's still banned today, but I honestly didn't miss him or really care. I was gonna say, but that's just me. Next card was Dark Grepper. I was gonna say, pitch a high level card, special summon him, then you could ditch another one from your deck. He helped modulate your darks pretty well, and he was 1700, so he was a pretty good body for that build. I think he was at 1 still. Breaker was in a lot of the builds I saw. I was gonna say I definitely always want to include Breaker if I can, just because when the card first came out, he was awesome. Built in MST. I was gonna say I really don't need to explain Breaker, but he's Breaker. Another weird tech that I threw in this deck, but it does help get a lot of darks in your graveyard, is Snipe Hunter. Unless you roll a 1 or a 6, I was gonna say you pretty much can bang out anything, and he was really good for getting rid of a lot of stuff. I was gonna say it didn't just have to be a monster card. I was gonna say it could be anything on the field. So if your opponent had like a Royal Oppression or something like that, I was gonna say he got rid of that, then you could move on to the next thing. So I actually chose to run 2 Diamond Dude for this build. I was gonna say, you know what he does, you can, if you hit a spell, I was gonna say you get its effect next turn. If it's either Destiny Draw, you don't have to pay the cost, or Lore or something like that. I was gonna say I didn't really play this deck. I kind of collect decks, but I was gonna say I'm pretty sure it's Destiny Draw that you don't have to pay with, but Lore you still do. And then you can also activate goofy effects, like you can quick play your E-teleports to get stuff out. So you could hit a spell, make a Goyo, blah 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 blah. Another warrior target I chose to run was an Armageddon Knight. I was going to say Armageddon Knight is kind of like a generic version of Dark Grepper, so I definitely wanted to include him in it. Mystic Tomato, you know what he does, he's a searcher for the deck, one of them. So if he got destroyed, you could pull out anything with 15 or lower, so you could get your Armageddon Knight, you could get your Krevins, you could get a Reaper, whatever the situation called for at the time. So he was good. Ran 3 Krevins, just because I mean, it was a Tele-Dad deck, so you had to run 3. The one Zangan, I was gonna say, he was another searcher card. You could get like malicious or something like that with him, and you do all kinds of stuff with it. Then the 3 malicious, I was gonna say, you use that. This is a lot of your synchro plays, and floater helps you modulate your graveyard, blah 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 blah. You know what malicious does. The 1 Necro Gardener. And again, just a free attack negator, and helps you modulate your graveyard again. I think everything in this deck, except for the other 2 Monarchs, are dark anyway. The 1 Doom Lord, I was going to say, he was kind of the out to Stardust Dragon. You could remove it from play for a turn, or 2 turns, like for 2 turns or something like that. Just a really fun card to play with, and plus he's another warrior target for your Rotas, etc. Another Destiny hero target to pitch. The 1 Plague Spreader, I didn't run 2. Some decks ran 2 and 3 Kravens. I just ran 1. You put a Malicious in your deck, back in your deck, top deck Malicious, and get him back and go for something, and you pull all kinds of cool stuff with him. And lastly, for the monster lineup, we had Reaper. I was gonna say, you know what Reaper does, isn't it? If you don't, well, he's an invincible wall, unless he gets targeted by a spell or effect or something like that, but he's a good card to run in your decks. So for the spell lineup, let's see. Reborn was at 1. You know what Reborn does, I'm not even going to explain it. Brain Control was your game, what could be a game winner in this format. I was going to say, it was pretty much like that anywhere, really, because Brain Control is always just really solid. Heavy Storm. Got rid of that back row, the World Oppressions, blah blah blah. Just had to watch out for certain quick plays or traps. The 1 MST, I was gonna say, I don't know if it was at 1, but most decks only ran the 1, so I chose to only run 1 myself. My god, I gotta stop doing these when I'm tired. 3 Lord Darkness. I was gonna say, I can't believe it was at 3 for when it was at 3, but, you know, draw 2, banish dark from your hand. That way it kept darks out of your graveyard. Not too many, you know what I mean. Followed up with 3 Destiny Draw. Destiny Draw is another key thing. As I said, this deck had like insane draw power, plus with emergency teleports and stuff like that, yanking out of your deck, and the Rotas, as you can see, it got out of control. That's why this deck would explode. 3 emergency teleports. I was going to say this was to get your Kravens out. You know what that does. And I ran the 2 Rota. I was going to say because all the warrior targets. So that runs out the spell lineup. And then lastly, the traps, which were insane. 3 Solemn Judgments. I was going to say you really didn't need anything else if you had 3 of these. As far as negating stuff goes, but you could also run these. I was going to say a lot of decks ran these. I was going to say the Royal Oppressions pay 800 negates. I think it was 800. 800 negate special summons. Both players had access to it, but helped you keep your stuff going. Then I ran 2 Wing Blasts. Help you get some stuff in your graveyard and bounce stuff back to their, I think it's the top of their deck, right? Yeah, to the top of the owner's deck. You could even bounce like a urine stuff back if for whatever reason you need to. Torrential Tribute to your monster destruction for the deck. I was going to say it helps you get rid of the stuff on the field. And Crush Guard. I was going to say there's a lot of targets in this deck that you can use this with. And, you know, back before it's a rod, it was insane. And lastly, the Lone Trap Dust Shoot. So that's the main deck. For the extra or synchro deck, I was going to say it was pretty standard. And 2 Red Dragon Archfiends. I was going to say he hits 1 defense monster, he blows them all up. 3,000 body, ridiculous. It's not good anymore. Best level 6 was a Goya Guardian. Ran 2 of them. Some decks ran 3. I only ran 2. Because I didn't have 3, but just because I only wanted to run 2. Colossal Fighter. Special summoned himself from the graveyard. I was going to say he gets beefed up by warriors. He's a dark. I was going to say you can't get wrong with Colossal Fighter. Ran 2 of them. And this was kind of a fun card to use. As I say, it was ran 3 Thought Ruler Archfiends. Card you used to pull all kinds of zany bull crap with him. You could, what was it? You played a spell trap card. This is activated. You pay 1,000 to negate stuff. And he's pretty big body too for 2,700. Let's see. 3 Stardust Dragons. I was gonna say he was another out card. Just kind of somebody try to Lightning Vortex, drop him in the graveyard, get him back next turn. Then we had 1 Psychic Life Transfer. She was good with the Krabbins that you ran in the deck. Black Rose and Field Nuke. I was going to say I only ran 1. And lastly, you had your Magical Android. Usually only level 5, I think, back then. So, and that's my Tele-Dad build that I have. As I say, if you guys liked it, give me a thumbs up, subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'm out.